Hello students, here I am back with the second part of the video, A Legend of Northland poem, class 9th. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. So students, earlier we have seen that greedy lady, the old little lady was very much greedy and she was not going to give the cakes to Saint Peter, who was hungry and was about to faint. And on the other hand, she says that when she eat those cakes for her own self, it seems too small. And when she is trying to give it to Saint Peter, those cakes seems too large to give away. This shows that how greedy is that little lady. That old lady is quite greedy. The next stanza. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke. So this Saint Peter, he was completely hungry, he was starving, and due to that he became angry. He got furious when he saw that little lady was unable to give a single slice of cake when she was blessed with a good home, food, shelter. Still she was unable to give a little slice of cake from her own bakery shop. That thing. For this reason, Saint Peter grew angry and furious, and this reason was enough for him to become angry, to become furious. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard, dry wood. So now the Saint Peter, when he grew angry, he shouted at this old lady and said that now you are blessed with food and shelter, and you don't have humanity in yourself. Now you are going to struggle like a bird. The bird who are daily struggling for their food, boring and boring, continuously boring in the woods with their beaks. They are breaking the woods and they are searching for their food. The same way she is also going to do. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. And as soon Saint Peter told that you are going to turn into a bird, you are going to struggle like a bird every day, that single moment from the chimney, that lady turned into a woodpecker and she was changed into a bird. As you can see in the picture, student, through that chimney, through the kitchen area, through the chimney, she turned out into a woodpecker, into a bird. So we can see that this was the curse given to that old lady, that this was the curse because she lacks humanity. She was unable to help Saint Peter. The next stanza. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burned black as a coal in the flame. So the little lady, when she turned out into a woodpecker, the complete dress was burnt into a coal. She was wearing that, she turned out to be complete black in color, only scarlet cap. That means the red color cap was on her head. As you can see in the picture, student, the red color wing on the top of the head is there. That means the scarlet cap refers here in the poem, and the rest of the body has been turned out to be black, and she was turned into a bird. And from there, her journey of struggle started. She started boring and boring into the woods daily for her food and shelter. This was the curse given to that lady by Saint Peter. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. So every little child, those who goes to the school, they used to talk that they have seen this lady who turned out into a bird, and every day she used to bore and bore for the food. And she lives in the trees. This is a legend of Northland. This is the story that every country boy used to speak. Every country boy knew this moral story that there was a Saint Peter and an old woman who was being cursed by Saint Peter. So students, this is the end of the poem. Let's see the literary devices of the poem. The rhyme scheme of the poem goes A, B, C, B. Throughout the poem, we can see the rhyme scheme remains A, B, C, B. For example, in the first stanza first, the first line and the last word is Northland. Then second word is few. Few is getting rhymed with through. So few and through will be considered as B, and then it will go like A, B, C, B. Throughout the poem, the literary device, the rhyme scheme will be A, B, C, B. First literary device of the poem is alliteration. Alliteration is when the consonant sound is prominent. For example, let's see the instance in stanza first. Stanza first, we can see the last line, the sound is repeated, is prominent. So it is alliteration. In stanza second, third line, we can see look like, L sound is getting prominent. So it is alliteration. In stanza 2, fourth line, funny, furry, clothes. So F sound is prominent. So again it is alliteration. So students, you can find out other instances of alliteration from the poem. Next literary devices is repetition. When any word is being repeated in the stanzas, when the poet has used any word again and again to emphasize, that is repetition. For example, in stanza 1, we can see away, away in the Northland. Away, away. It is repeated. So, the literary device over here is repetition. Stanza 9. Rolled and rolled. So, the literary device is repetition. Next literary device is simile. When in any sentence, anything is comparison is made, but with the word like or as. In case it is in any sentence there is a word like or as, then it is known as simile. For example, in stanza 2, we can see in line 3, children look like bear cubs. So, like word is there, it is simile. Again, in stanza 9, you can see baked it thin as wafer. As word is there, so it is simile. Next literary device is anaphora. Anaphora is when any word is starting, when two sentences are starting with the same word. For example, over here in this poem, stanza 12, to dwell, to have. We can see two word is there and it is getting started with the same word. So this is called as anaphora. Last literary device is enjambment. Enjambment, students, is when any sentence that is running without any punctuation mark. No column, no commas, no semicolon, no full stop, no punctuation mark, then that is called as enjambment. Here in stanza first, we can see line 3rd and fourth is being continued without any punctuation mark. No punctuation mark, and we will get the literary device as enchantment. So that's all for the poem, students. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you in the next video.